You trained them. The new starter. 6 months ago, you showed them where everything was, how things really work here, which systems to ignore and which to never touch. And then one afternoon, you find out what they're paid. A payslip left on the printer, a careless comment in the kitchen. However it reaches you, it lands like a slap. Because they're earning more than you. More than you! And you've been here 3 years. And your first instinct is to question yourself. Maybe you're not as good as you thought. Maybe you've slipped. So let me stop you right there. This almost certainly isn't because you're bad at your job. The painful truth is closer to the opposite.
You are good at your job. You're reliable, you're capable, you're the one who holds things together. And you assumed, reasonably, decently, that being good at the work was the same thing as being good at the money. It isn't. They are two completely different skills, and nobody is rewarded simply for being quietly excellent. So today, 5 reasons good people stay broke, and what the well-paid ones are doing differently. None of it is about working harder. Let's get into it. The first reason is the one that stings the most, because you did everything you were told was right. You stayed. Here's the uncomfortable maths of the modern workplace. The pay rise you get for staying loyal, that polite 2, 3, maybe 5% a year, almost never keeps pace with what the same job pays on the open market. So every year you stay, quietly, you fall a little further behind your own market value. That's the loyalty tax. And the person who left, did the same job somewhere else for 18 months and came back, they often leapfrog you completely. This is why the new starter out-earns you. Not because they're better, because their salary was set by today's market, and yours was set by your starting point 3 years ago, nudged up by inflation-sized crumbs.
Loyalty is a lovely quality in a friend. To a lot of employers, it's simply a discount. I'm not telling you to quit tomorrow. I'm telling you to stop assuming that staying still is the safe, sensible financial choice. Very often, it's the expensive one. The second reason is quieter, and it lives in a very British discomfort. We do not like talking about money. We'd rather do an extra year of brilliant work and hope someone notices than say the plain sentence, "I'd like to talk about my pay." So here's the hard part. Your manager is not lying awake worrying that you're underpaid. A salary that stays low is a budget that stays healthy. The system has no built-in alarm that goes off when you're being shortchanged. You are the alarm.
And good workers make a specific mistake here. They believe the work itself is the request, that if they just keep delivering, the raise will arrive as a natural reward. It won't. The raise is not earned by the work. It's earned by the work and then asking, with evidence, calmly, out loud. Come with what you've delivered, what the market pays, and a specific number. Not, "I was wondering if maybe," but based on my results and the market rate, I'd like us to look at moving my salary to X. The worst they can say is not yet, and even that answer tells you something useful about whether your future here is worth staying for.
The third reason feels like a compliment, which is exactly why it's so dangerous. You've made yourself indispensable. You're the only one who knows how that system works, the only one who can calm that client, the one everything quietly runs through. It feels like security. Surely they can't afford to lose you. But look at what it actually does. If you are the only person who can do your job, you cannot be promoted out of it,
Because then who does it? So you get locked in place, praised, leaned on, and parked, indispensable in your current seat, and therefore stuck in it. The cruel irony is that the people who get moved up and paid more are often the ones who made themselves replaceable, who documented, who trained others, who built things that ran without them. So being the hero who holds it all together can quietly become the reason you never move and never earn more. Make yourself excellent, but don't make yourself a single point of failure that's too useful to promote. The fourth reason is simple, and almost everyone is guilty of it. You don't know your number. If I asked you right now what your exact skills in your exact role pay at 3 other companies this month, could you tell me? Most people can't even guess within £10,000. And here's why that matters. You cannot negotiate from a feeling. I think I deserve more is easy to wave away. People with my skills and experience are being paid X right now, here's the evidence, is not. Without a market rate, you've got no anchor, so you accept whatever number you're given, and you call it fair because you've nothing to compare it to. So go and find out. Check the salary sites. Talk to recruiters. Even when you're not job hunting, take the call. Compare notes with trusted people in your field. Quietly build a picture of your real market value. Knowledge of your own worth is the single most powerful thing you can bring into a pay conversation, and the one thing employers most rely on you not having. And the fifth reason is the one that follows you home, because this one isn't about them. It's about the gap between what you earn and what you keep. Here's the trap that catches even people on a good salary. Every time the money goes up, the lifestyle quietly goes up to match it. A bigger rent, a nicer car on finance, the subscriptions, the little upgrades. So you earn more, and you're somehow just as broke as before. This is why a pay rise alone never fixes the feeling of being broke. If your spending expands to swallow every raise, you can climb your whole career and never once feel secure. So the well-paid and comfortable do one boring, powerful thing. When the income goes up, they don't let all of it leak into lifestyle. They keep a gap. They pay themselves first. A slice goes away before it can be spent. And that gap, over time, is the entire difference between a high earner and a wealthy one. This isn't financial advice, and I'm not your advisor. But the principle is plain. Being good at your job earns the money. What you do with it after it lands decides whether you're ever actually free. So look again at that new starter who out-earns you. They are not better at the job than you. They may well be worse. What they had wasn't more talent, it was a better relationship with the money. They moved when staying got expensive. They asked. They knew their number. They didn't let their life swallow their pay. And every single one of those is a skill. Learnable. Not a personality you're born with. Not luck. A skill. Exactly like the ones that made you good at your job in the first place. You were never broke because you weren't good enough. You were broke because nobody ever told you that being good and being paid are two different games, and you were only ever taught to play one of them. So start learning the other one. And tell me below, have you ever found out a colleague earned more than you for the same work, and what did you do about it? I'll be reading.